Okay, to graph this piecewise function, let's start by taking a little time to think about what each individual piece would look like. So if I was graphing f of x equals x cubed plus 5, we know from our look at basic functions that y equals x cubed looks something like this. But if we were to shift it up 5, that point that was at 0, 0 would be at 0, 5. Okay, now we're just going to graph the piece where x is less than or equal to 0, so we're going to be graphing something like this. So if x equals 0, we have 0 to the third power plus 5, and that's 5. So we're going to start at that point. And then for another point, suppose we substitute x equals negative 1 in there. We can use whatever we want as long as it's less than 0. Negative 1 cubed is negative 1 plus 5 is 4. So we're going through the point negative 1, 4. And perhaps we choose one more point. Let's say x is negative 2. Negative 2 cubed is negative 8, plus 5 is negative 3. So negative 2, negative 3. So we have something like this. Remember, if we were graphing the whole graph, we would have something like that over there too, but we don't have that side. Okay, now for the bottom piece, f of x equals the opposite of x squared. So let's think about what that would look like. So we know if we were graphing y equals x squared, that's another one of our basic functions. It looks like this with a vertex at 0, 0. But if we're graphing y equals the opposite of x squared, it's going to be reflected across the x-axis and it's going to open down. So we're only graphing the part of that that's greater than 0. X is greater than 0, so we're graphing this part. So we're going to start at 0, 0 with an open circle. Open circle because this says greater than 0. It doesn't say greater than or equal to. So that's our starting point. And then for another point, suppose we substitute 1 in there. So 1 squared is 1 times negative 1, negative 1. So the point 1, negative 1. So start at 0, 0, go through negative 1, go through 1, negative 1, keep going, and don't forget it's not a line, it's a curve. So there's our graph.